The May 21st storm will cost Hydro Ottawa anywhere between $25 and $30 million for restoration efforts, a bill which the province says they will pick up. The May long weekend was just beginning when the storm ripped through the capital, causing a long line of destruction in its path. Many Victoria Day activities had to be cancelled as a result, but some, like a new rib fest in Barrhaven, were able to continue because they were being run on generators. Hydro Ottawa says the cleanup will take weeks, maybe longer, after the once-in-a-lifetime storm crushed their power grid.
As I've indicated since the outset of this event, the situation on the ground is both chaotic and dynamic. As crews work, they discover additional damage, which may delay restoration. Conversely, with the sheer number of operational resources that we have at our disposal, and as jobs complete, we may be able to accelerate restoration in other areas.
Here in the Pine Glen neighborhood, much of the cleanup work, as you can see, is currently underway. But this part of Ottawa, like many others, is still without power 8 days after the storm first hit. Much of the Pine Glen and Grenfell Glen neighborhoods received a brunt of the damage. With so many century-old trees overhead, they fell onto hydro lines, making cleanup efforts much more complex. Hydro Ottawa previously said some patches of communities would take longer to restore because of fallen debris, and that was the case for some homes in these neighborhoods, which had to wait almost 2 weeks for their lights to come back on. But even once they did, it's not always a permanent fix. Hydro Ottawa says to expect sporadic outages over the next few weeks as they reconnect lines to the grid or continue with repairs in other areas. The amount of trees which have fallen is unknown, but a large part of the Pinny Forest is gone, with trees snapping like twigs. The National Capital Commission says some of their trails could be closed for months because of cleanup efforts. Back in Pine Glen, cleanup efforts continue with hundreds of trees still waiting to be picked up. Some roads are impassable, some houses are unlivable. Nearby, St. Monica School received extensive damage after multiple trees fell down and a portion of its roof blew off. Students there were able to return back to class, but the Ottawa Catholic School Board says the gym and 2 classrooms will be closed because of the storm damage. Hydro Ottawa says once cleanup efforts are over, they will assess their response so they can be better prepared for the future.
Look, the storm did a lot of damage to our infrastructure, like a massive amount. Some of that infrastructure fell, some of it stayed up. We are completely cognizant of the fact that the residents are traumatized by this particular event. So we immediately pushed out information on social media saying, we're there, we are aware, we will have this fixed in 3 hours, which I think it took an hour and a half, 2 hours. I spoke to all the relevant counselors last night, letting them know that if this was that, so they could push that out. So we're in a position now where we are intimately aware of just how sensitive everyone is to the power supply. And we're prepared to hold the hands of everybody to get through this.
Hydro Ottawa says more than 95% of their outages have been restored, leaving less than 9,000 of their customers still in the dark. Now, they're hoping to have the full electrical grid back up and running by either Tuesday and Wednesday this week, but of course it depends on what else they might find. Charlie Sinac, 2AN News, Ottawa.